I am fully aware that the Las Vegas Raiders are currently trying to probably tank. Like, I'm just going to be real. They're probably trying to tank right now with Mendoza potentially going to enter the draft this year. And I don't necessarily blame them. I think Mendoza, if he does indeed come out, would be a really good quarterback for him, or potentially could be a really good quarterback for him. But I think a lot of people are forgetting about what the Raiders already have. They already have their young superstars in place. And I mean, just at every level of your offense, that is the most important positions they have him. Running back, Ashton Genty, over 900 all-purpose yards this year and 8 touchdowns. Brock Bowers, I mean, arguably the best tight end. I don't think it's a debate really, but the best tight end in the NFL right now. 53 catches, 619 and 6 this year. Jack Bash. Now, I know Jack Bash it's been very, very slow to get started. I think part of that is because, Pete Carroll, he makes his rookies earn their stripes, which I respect and I completely get. Even though I would argue that, there's some certain wide receivers out there that I don't think should have gotten as much snaps that they did. But anyway, Jack Bech, this year, yes, 16 for a buck 64, not exactly something to write home about. But if you watch any amount of Raiders football, you are able to infer and see that this team has its superstars. It has its most important things in place on offense. It does. You could also talk about Trey Tucker, who I think is going to be one of the more underrated slot receivers in the entire NFL. And again, I also understand that the quarterback position is the main issue here. You talk about Geno Smith. He hasn't been bad this year, but he also hasn't been great. And I think a lot of people were expecting a lot more from him. But overall, this year he's completed over 70% of his passes and 16 touchdown passes, 14 interceptions. His offensive line hasn't helped him, but he also hasn't helped himself. So that being said, I think that the quarterback position clearly is a sticking point for a lot of people. But you also have Dante Thornton. You have Tyler Lockett. You have Trey Tucker. You have all these pieces that, if given the right scheme and given the right coaching and the right quarterback, this could be dangerous. And again, I don't know if that's Mendoza. I don't know if that is, next year if they want to trade for Patrick. I don't know who they want to trade for or who they want to bring in. But the reality of the situation is there. We have the clay. How do we find the artist that's willing to and able to mold it into what it can be? That's the question. And I think that's what the Raiders are going to be searching for the rest of this offseason. Yes, obviously after they, tank or whatever they decide to do. The question is how do we find the coach and the quarterback that can take all of these things to the next level? But make no mistake, the Raiders have their superstars. They have their offensive pieces in place. And I think that if they get all the rest of that stuff, which is arguably the hardest thing to do in the NFL, this could be a special offense. But overall, let us know what you guys think. The Raiders have their young superstars in place. Just need to go ahead and finish the rest of it. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below. And we'll see you on the next video.